House resumes and debate continues.
Mr. Chairman, I rise to one of the debate on this very important measure before this honorable House, and I want to again commend all the members who presented here this morning. As I said, Mr. Speaker, earlier on this morning, this is about Dominica. It's about the protection of life, first and foremost. And then the issue of trying to catch a vote is not consistent with what we're trying to achieve here as a government and as a people. And it's not a mission that we can traverse with one side wearing a red banner and the other side wearing a blue banner. It's about all of us, Mr. Speaker, in one collective endeavor, doing our best to protect life first and foremost. I just like, Mr. Speaker, I'm very much taken aback to see the length at which the leader of the opposition went and to have this thing turned into a political debate and trying to gain political capital on a very sad event, Mr. Speaker. And then certainly, Mr. Speaker, the leader of the opposition has been watching a lot of American TV lately. American TV. And then, so, he's confused about the difference between a stimulus package and compensation. In America, Mr. Speaker, very sadly, what's happening, all of us have our loved ones and friends in America, but they print money in America, we don't in Dominica, Mr. Speaker. And when you hear about stimulus package for the business sector, these are loans that have to be paid back, Mr. Speaker, and I think that has to be put into context. But no one in this country can deny that this Labour Party government is the government that has done more, or the most, for the people of this country. And we know what it is about to care for our people. And so, Mr. Speaker, let us look at what is happening in this country within the context of what is actually happening. And we are saying in Labour Party administration, even if you're sick, but you have to be cared for with the utmost dignity, Mr. Speaker. I was speaking to a friend yesterday who lives in a part of the world in the Caribbean, and that island is a dependency of the United States. And he said to me, Mr. Speaker, that there's no facility in that island to quarantine people. And I think that the government has to be commended, in particular, the Ministry of Health and the Minister for Health and his team, for treating the persons who have contracted this virus with the utmost dignity, Mr. Speaker. And I think that has to be put into context, therefore. Because the facilities down in Portsmouth, most of them have air conditioning units. How many of us in Dominica have air conditioning units at our homes? Stove, microwave, just name it, self-contained apartment. This is a government that is concerned about the plight of the people of this country, Mr. Speaker, and that has to be understood. So the leader of the opposition and his team should come there and commend the government and the Ministry of Health for the work they have done so far to care for the people of this country who have come across this deadly virus. And the mitigation measures were put in place thus far, because this, Mr. Speaker, has to be treated as a disaster, but it's not a traditional disaster, like a hurricane, as the Prime Minister referenced. It's a public health issue. We cannot see the virus. It is dangerous. So we cannot be talking about giving people money now. We are talking about caring for the people now and to ensure that we contain this virus. And in order to contain this virus, we're saying to our people, inclusive of ourselves on our side, that social distancing is effective. And the most effective way to social distance yourself, I prefer to use the word physical distancing, is to stay in your house, on your cabin, on your bed, and rest yourself, Mr. Speaker. So, this curfew, this order, it is consistent with Section 17 of the Constitution, the parent law of this country. And all the questions the leader of the opposition raised this morning, the answers are contained in this proposed amendment, Mr. Speaker. So we are not trampling or transgressing any law in this country. We are actually doing what is right for the people of this country. My message to the people of this country is let's give the Ministry of Health the chance to get ahead of this deadly virus. So the police have tremendous powers. The intention of this government is not to arrest anybody. The intention is to work with you. But to work with you, you have to work with us. And you must therefore demonstrate love for yourself first before somebody else. So if you're not concerned about your own health, it is difficult to care for somebody else's health. So stay away as much as possible. And when we say total shutdown, we mean total shutdown. The only thing you should see on the road is when I saw that white dog in Mao on a Sunday, everybody else was in his home or her home. Let's do that. And to close, there's a window during the weekdays, Monday to 2 o'clock, and Friday to 2 o'clock. You can go to an essential service to buy your gas, to buy your medication. But if you're on the road, it has to be for the express purpose of trying to access a service from an essential service. It cannot be gallivanting on the road, Mr. Speaker, or sitting by the roadside. And that has to be taken into consideration. As the Prime Minister said this morning, it has to be taken seriously. That we don't want a total shutdown, but if we continue to actually turn a blind eye on the imperative, and that is to stay home and to avoid social contact, the state may have no choice but to effect a total shutdown. Mr. Speaker, I commend this very important measure before this honorable House. Thank you.
It had been moved and seconded that the bill shortly entitled Emergency Powers Amendment Act 2020 be read a second time. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. The bill will now be read. No, let's go to committee stage. Yeah. The bill now stands committed to a committee of the whole House to be considered clause by clause. Emergency Powers Act, amended Act 2020, passed the committee stage with one amendment, a minor amendment. The question is that the report of the committee on the bill be adopted. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the bill shortly entitled the Emergency Powers Amendment Act 2020 be read a third time and pass.
Seconded, Mr. Speaker.
It has been moved and seconded that the bill shortly entitled Emergency Powers Amendment Act 2020 be read a third time and passed. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
Emergency Powers Amendment Act 2020.
The bill has been read a third time and passed accordingly.
Mr. Speaker, with your leave, your permission, I would like to invite Honorable Dr. King to seek to guide us on the proper use of the face mask in terms of its how do you put it on and what do you do when you put it on and what do you do when you take it out. I think for the benefit of all of us and indeed the wider nation.
Yes, we'll invite Dr. King to address Parliament in regards to the proper use of mask, and not just Parliament, but those listening via the internet and on the radio. I'd like you to listen carefully as Dr. King, the parliamentary representative and Minister of Government, parliamentary representative of the St. Joseph constituency and Minister of Government, give us a brief.
Okay, good day to the Honorable House and all the members. Pleased as a member of the medical, I don't want to say association, but as the medical team here in Dominica. Several mistakes were observed there in this Honorable House this morning in people putting on their mask and taking it off. So I would like to do a brief demonstration. I have my mask on now. So I'm just going to remove it. When you remove your mask, you should not place it anywhere. So you should, by right, have a bag that you can place it in and close. Okay? But when you move it. Or if you have a napkin, you put it in it and you wrap it. Always, after you remove your mask, you should always sanitize. Honorable Blackmore, I know you love this, so always sanitize. It's sanitizing. Just because they spray your hand doesn't mean it is well sanitized. So you're supposed to rub it, make sure you make your fingers go in between, make sure your entire hand is sanitized. Always, when you take your mask, it shouldn't be placed on the surface here. It should be coming from a wrapped packet, or some of them come in a box. You hold it always by the string. Never touch your mask when you're about to put it on. By the string. You will notice that there's a part where there's a wire. The wired part is supposed to go on your nose. So it should be up. The blue part that you see should be facing outwards. So the white part goes over your face, and the blue part face outwards. Always, the string, you put it on your face, cover your mouth and nose, and the string goes behind your ears. For those wearing glasses, preferably your glasses should be out. I'm used to this, so I left the glasses on. So you touch the string, it goes here. The first thing you do is ensure that the bottom part goes all the way under your chin. And the top part stays above the opening of your nose, and there's this wire that you take and you press to ensure that it remains in place. When you are done with that, your mask is in place, you sanitize your hands again. Honorable?
Benson, you want some more?
That's okay. Always you can use to sanitize your hand, you should always use alcohol 70% or higher, never below 70%. Some people recommend 65. It's best that it's 70% or higher. Or you can use hand sanitizers with a base of 70% alcohol or more, never less. That ensures that kill any germs on your hands. Thank you. Please be safe out there.
All right. All right, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I move that the House be adjourned, sine die.
Mr. Speaker.
It has been moved that the House be adjourned, sign the die. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it, the House stand adjourned, sign the die.
Speaker, you're going to rise soon, right, to go out?
Yes.
So when you rise, you all rise with you as customary. And I would like us to applaud all the frontline workers in the effort, national effort fighting COVID-19.
I agree. Let's go. And as I exit, I would like to thank all the members of this honorable House for a fruitful debate. And I hope that everyone in Dominica have listened carefully and all of us have learned something here today. Thank you, everyone.